Well, how many of us have set New Year's resolutions or goals this year?
And how many of us have stuck with them? Joining us to discuss checking in on our New Year's resolutions is Trisha Doan with Well 365. And Trisha, welcome.
Thank you.
You know, usually probably the top of the list is losing weight, right? What are some of the other ones, the top resolutions?
Oh, I think it's a lot of just lifestyle and behavior. People want to start exercising or quit, smoking. Really, it comes down to a lot of that, I think is just, but weight loss certainly is up there. So we're a few weeks into the new year, and I think everyone is gets rejuvenated on starting those resolutions, but we're also just, as we talked about a few weeks ago, people are setting new goals or just new intentions, and it's a good time to check in and see where people are at with that, and then also understand that it's not too late if you're not quite off to the start that you were hoping for.
If you kind of get discouraged, say you made a goal and you maybe haven't stuck fully to that goal, I guess what would you recommend people maybe do in evaluating?
Yeah, I think looking at, what is the behavior, what is the reason where you're not achieving that? And a lot of times because I think people set the goal of, I just want to lose 20 pounds or I just want to quit smoking when they're not looking at, okay, what are all the things that we need to do to get to that point? So rather than feeling defeated or not, you're not gonna, probably overnight, that's not gonna happen. So looking at, what are things that we can change and kind of resetting your mind. So rather than, I'm not gonna have any sugar or I'm not gonna snack anymore, replace it with, okay, I'm gonna add a vegetable to my meal. And use that as kind of metrics rather than, I'm just not doing as well as I hoped. Or rather than quitting tobacco, or smoking, instead of my normal morning break to go have a smoke break, I'm going to replace that. Hey, I'm going to just go for a 10-minute walk, or I'm going to, go read for 10 minutes. So really kind of reshifting your mindset. And I think then at the end of, when you're evaluating yourself, looking at, okay, I'm not quite where I'm at with my goal, but these are changes that I'm making to get to that. And that will kind of help you stay motivated of, I'm drinking more water, or I'm moving my body, or I've, scaled back on tobacco, for example.
And it's probably important, like, let's say you have a resolution, say to give up sugar, and then one day you have a donut. It's probably important to say, okay, I fell off the wagon, so to speak, but don't let that discourage you and say, okay, I'm done, right?
100%. And the reality is, saying I'm never going to have sugar again, or I'm never, some of those, especially when it comes to nutrition and things like that, that's probably not realistic. And so it goes back to, allowing yourself more of a balance. And so I think if you set your mind up, I'm never going to have sugar again, you're only going to think about sugar, and you're going to see sugar all around you, and that's all you're ever going to want. And so again, just reframing of, these are just different choices that I'm going to make. And if I do end up getting, off track or whatever that looks like, take it, tomorrow's a new day, right? So try to, and that's probably the hardest thing that we see when we're working with individuals is, getting away from the all or none mentality. Which is really hard because, we're all kind of victims of that at time. So just, again, it's reshaping that. And the other thing that I think is so important is, studies and statistics show that when you actually write down your goals, we've heard this for years, if you write down your goals, and have that in front of, again, as a reminder, you're more likely to achieve those and succeed, because again, it's just really on a daily basis, front of mind of what you're trying to achieve, whether it's, lifestyle changes, behavior changes, but you have to be really specific on those. So, rather than I want to lose X amount of pounds, or I want to do this, what are the things that you are going to do to help you get to that? And then that's what you're focusing on, is those lifestyle changes.
Well, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.